everybody, and welcome to EGX. I'm Liz Kerstein.
I'm Steve Fowler.
I'm Rubi Bayer.
And today we are going to take you through the Guild Wars 2 Tequatl Boss Encounter. I want to welcome not only our own regular Guild Wars 2 viewers, but those of you who are tuning in through the Twitch channel. It's super cool to have you with us. So we are going to be talking about one of our open world bosses.
He's one of the easy ones, right?
No, we wouldn't show off easy stuff here. What's that all about?
He's not a starter level boss?
No. So we're going to be showing off Tequatl the Sunless. Just so you know, this is actually a recording. This fight takes a little bit of coordination, and we wanted to make sure that we weren't slowing things down or kind of possibly messing things up in a live environment. It was a little too risky for us.
Can I take a second to admire your wings? Because I really love that back piece.
I'm really proud of that back piece.
You should be.
Thank you very much. Oh.
Hey, you're getting attacked.
Yeah.
You did.
Is that Tequatl?
No, that's a little baby one.
I would be so sad if that was Tequatl.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah, I wish the whole fight were like that.
All right, everybody, we're done.
So you can see that we're kind of in this murky swamp area, and it's kind of a big open field. And we're kind of running around just to kind of show you the lay of the land a little bit. Ruby, do you want to talk about these turrets?
Yeah, this is actually a huge multi-part fight. This isn't just like a gigantic Zerg fest where you all run in and beat on the boss. This is one part of the fight where you have a part of the group that's preparing. They're going to come in and man these turrets. Man, you are moving super fast. There are 3 sets of turrets. They're going to come in and use these turrets. There are different skills once you're on there. One of them, they're going to cleanse some of the poison that Tequatl's throwing down. Let's see, what else have we got in there? I always cleanse, so that's right where I go.
You've got people who are throwing stakes. You can throw something that'll actually take off a special buff that Tequatl builds up. We'll talk about that a little later. So the turrets are really important because they're reinforcing the Zerg by cleansing poisons. And then you've got your whole Zerg mass up here, which is a group of players who are doing direct damage to Tequatl.
Right. You can have up to, 120, 130 players all on the same map, all with their specific skills.
It's pretty big up there.
Go ahead.
You can see that we've got some boosts out here. Some people throw down a couple banners and a campfire so that we can get some boost to help us with our fight. You can see my buff bar is just going out the window.
Maxed out. This is the thing that you and I were talking about yesterday on Points of Interest. These are some of those worldwide buffs that everybody's throwing down to make sure everybody can get the most that they can out of the fight and do the most damage that they can.
Absolutely.
So I assume right now there's some team speak going on. People are chatting. Commanders are giving out instructions.
Yeah,
and
that's
orders.
typically going on in the big fight. So that was kind of, you saw the arena. So you've got people on turrets who are helping the Zerg. You've got the Zerg who's damaging Tequatl directly, and then we've actually got another role we didn't really talk about, which is a bunch of supporters who are defending the people on the turrets so that those turrets stay up throughout the fight. Because they're a really crucial role.
Yeah, that's always fun because things are coming in and trying to murder you while you're manning those turrets and trying to make everything.
Yeah, when Tequatl lays down those poison fields, that Zerg standing all together is really in need of the debuffs that can come from those turrets.
Yeah, so you've got 3 very different roles, but none of them are really more important than the other, I would say.
Yeah, if you have anything that you're kind of slacking on, it's not going to end well for you. All right. So, okay, so we've kind of gone over the basics. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at the fight and see how it goes? All right, Liz, you're going to solo this dude, right?
Oh, totally. It's me. Those people are just for show.
Those are actually NPCs.
Yeah. I actually do want to give a shout out to Jade Quarry. They have a really tight ship that they run pretty much every day at reset on at least 1 map. Sometimes they go up to 2. And I'm not being very efficient in this fight because we wanted to show you a bunch of different parts of it. So I'm really grateful that they're so efficient that I could kind of run around and do my own thing.
Please cut Liz some
There's
slack.
something in the water.
All right, we see bubbles on the far horizon. There's something going on.
Got everybody picking up last-minute food buffs. Oh, here he comes.
There's the big guy.
And that's our dragon.
Oh, you didn't want that lighthouse, did you?
You know that lighthouse gets rebuilt really quickly.
Yeah.
And it poses up there for a second.
He's pretty big, and I think it's important to point out that he is a dragon lieutenant. He is nothing compared to the big ones.
This is one of the little dragons in our game. Oh.
Yeah, he's actually a minion of Zaitan, is that correct?
That is correct. So Zaitan is our undead elder dragon, and this is one of his minions who's kind of out in the world. And so yeah, this is a fight. You kind of see the Zerg going into action. Right now what I'm doing is clearing out the fingers, which are little minions he spawns that lay down a lot of those awful poison fields.
Right. You can see that those green clouds there hurt so badly.
It's good to keep those cleaned up, especially around the Zerg.
Yeah, so even though you've got turrets who are kind of laying down fields to cleanse that, it's really important to control those fingers and keep them from being kind of overwhelming.
And you'll notice every once in a while a big shockwave comes out.
Like that.
I had accidentally really good timing just now.
Tidal wave, yeah.
Yeah, it sends those shockwaves out pretty regularly, and you need to keep an eye out. Those will knock you down and hurt pretty badly.
And
You need to jump over those.
It's really nice because we have actually kind of NPCs at strategic locations who will give you verbal callouts and stuff like that. They'll say, avoid the shockwave, or it's gonna breathe. And so you kind of know what's coming, and you know, oops, see there, I
didn't see that one,
I didn't avoid it, and that's really bad if you have like a whole mass of players on his feet who get knocked over. It's not a good thing at all.
I think you did that on purpose to demonstrate the
Totally.
importance of jumping over the
That
shockwave.
is the only reason I would ever. So you see, just then, we put down a big old war banner that kind of revived a couple of our allies. A big thing in this fight is making sure that whatever role you're doing, you're bringing the right skills for it. So, for example, I as a warrior have a couple banners. I have a couple shouts. So I actually cleanse conditions every time I shout. So if we're all feared and I'm shouting, we might get out of that. You have banners to res people up. You've got guardians. You see all those like blue reflect walls going on. That's guardians trying to keep the fingers from attacking us.
Yeah, and you're getting people back in the fight that much more quickly, and you're making this go faster.
Yeah.
I want to touch on something you mentioned, the NPCs in strategic locations calling things out, and that's something we've been talking about for a couple of days, in that it's really good if you pay attention to what's going on in the battle around you. It really makes a difference. We want you to pay attention to the world around you and to the battle, because it's going to give you a huge advantage.
For sure.
So the guys on the turrets have actually got other folks defending them pretty soon, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of off screen because we're looking at Tequatl for the most part, but you actually do have groups of 5 to 10 players defending each of the sets of turrets. And if you can't, it's kind of hard to see, but on Tequatl's bar, he's getting these purple stacks of something that we refer to as scales. And if he gets too many of those, he's going to put up a huge bone wall that prevents A, the turrets from helping us, and B, us from really damaging him until that's done. Now you can kind of survive one bone wall going up. You might be able to recover if you're with a really good group. But one of the really key roles of the people on those highlight turrets is using a special skill every now and then to keep that stack managed.
Right, the debuff.
Or else we'll be fighting kind of a rear guard action.
Right, so you get a bunch of your allies down here with the putting down battle standards for the warriors to get the reses up.
And you're bringing everybody back into the fight. I'm realizing as you're talking the learning curve of the players over time. I'm remembering now as you're talking about the bone wall, it was just bone wall all the time.
It was rough when this first went live.
Yeah, when Tequatl first got its upgrade, there were just bone walls. Oh, okay, so we have moved on to the next part of the battle.
So we got Tequatl down to about 75% health, and that felt like a kind of long thing, but you'll notice it goes a lot quicker from now on, because at every 25%, he's going to kind of fly away, and we're going to use these really rad jump pads.
These jump pads are fantastic.
To kind
There
of
you go.
fly across the battlefield. What we're going to do is, since he's in the air, it's really hard to damage him, so we're going to try and charge up this mega laser to knock him out of the air and stun him for some vulnerability. So a really important part. Ruby, do you want to talk about these batteries?
We've got 3 batteries here that we are using to charge up the mega lasers. And again, you can see we've got Tequatl's fingers, we've got enemies coming in to try to take out these batteries. You can see the lasers going in there. So the players have gone out there to try to defend the batteries, and as we're charging up the mega lasers, you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, we're kind of monitoring how things are going. Mega laser is going to be charged in 1 minute. I'm not sure how much of your chat you've got going on, but the players, I can guarantee, are keeping a very close eye on that countdown timer.
Absolutely. We had it hidden just because you never know what people are going to say, but not only in chat, but in TeamSpeak, you've got people who are getting, Western battery, make sure that you're going on. Eastern and Northern are looking good, so maybe send a couple players
Western
over.
battery's hurting a little bit. Do you need help?
There's usually an emergency roaming group as well that the commander will call out. If there's a battery that's taking excessive damage, they'll be sent out there to give them extra help.
You notice I just got knocked down by a finger. That was pretty bad of me.
You did it on purpose to demonstrate.
But got to rally. We talked about rallying in an earlier stream when you actually kill something and you can actually rally off of the fingers, which is really nice.
So right about now, with about 15 seconds left, it's probably pretty sure that your batteries are going to stay up. So you're probably hearing commanders recall groups so they can get back in position for Tequatl to land.
Yeah, because Tequatl's coming back down. The laser's charged. Laser's going to knock Tequatl out of the air.
That's right.
And that phase is really crucial, because if you're not doing a lot of damage right then, you're kind of wasting time, because when Tequatl's stunned, it's not doing any attacks. So that's a really crucial time to get everyone there, stack up on your might. That's one of the times when you'll see a lot of special skills come out.
Liz is on her way back. There
All
goes
right,
Tequatl. They
Tequatl's
landed.
down, and everybody is running in to start hitting it pretty hard.
The damage group is a little bigger during the stun phase because you have a kind of respite before people start attacking the turrets. So we've got all the defenders up with us too, just trying to get as much damage as possible into this window. You can see his health bar is taken down pretty quickly here.
Yeah, the lasers not only knocked him out of the air, it stunned him a little bit too. So
Yeah, this is a burn phase
hit
right
A
here.
little bit, and if we do well, he'll immediately take off again afterwards because we taught him such a painful lesson, basically.
Yeah, he needs to back off a little bit and kind of, ow, I don't like
There he
this.
goes.
All right, so
All right,
we'll go
there
back
we
to
did it.
batteries.
We're going to actually go to a different battery this time. Each of them has kind of a unique mechanic. So the last one you saw that there were those Tequatl fingers up, you had to keep them down. And the next one I do believe is there are these grub holes, and if you don't stop those, the grub will
Yep.
spit on the turret,
Yeah.
which is gross on its own, but it has an added side effect of it'll actually draw more undead to the turret.
Yeah, people can't see the face that I'm making. This is my least favorite phase. I'm actually going, okay, maybe I'll just kind of stay on the edge and throw down AoE heals because the grub holes are kind of grossing me out. Yeah, grub spit attracts undead, so if you can stomp those down and kind of keep those out, it's going to help the batteries. And I like for this phase to go as quickly as is humanly possible because it's so gross.
So you see that we're stomping those down, but you also can't ignore the other undead who are coming around anyway. So it's a kind of multi-part defense all the time.
This one's going pretty quickly. We're already down to a minute. Yeah, the Mega Laser, when it hits a minute, it charges just to alert you in case you're not paying enough attention. It's easy to get caught up in the battle.
It is.
You're stomping that down.
And, as you can see, there are kind of a lot of moving parts, but most of the groups who do this regularly are really good at teaching people. You'll always have people saying, hey, I've got 2 spots open for turret defense. We will teach you. Just come help us.
Yeah, the great thing about this is players will start gathering something like 45 minutes to an hour beforehand and start organizing to make
roles,
sure,
right.
to make sure everything is covered.
With the most
And it's-
recent feature pack too, they've added colored commander tags, so it's been even more efficient now to break up the groups by color, and each one of them gets assigned a different role.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's almost like a big party atmosphere, just with a big fight at the end. All right, we are down to 10 seconds.
Yep, people are
Turn
starting to
around and get
recall
back
now.
over.
Yep.
I love those jump pads.
Those are so much fun.
I remember when those first came out, people basically couldn't get to the fight because they were so busy just jumping back.
Yep. All right. We are going to bring Tequatl back down with the Mega Laser.
There he is. He's on the ground.
Yep. And he's staggering a little bit because we hit him pretty hard. I want to point out too that I love the music that plays over this battle.
It's such good battle music.
It really is.
So right now, Liz, you're empowering, right? You're trying to get into a burn phase, right?
Yeah, so you have got a bunch
Max
of people
DPS.
using their shouts, they're putting down fire fields and blast finishers. I just picked up a fiery greatsword, which is an elementalist skill that we really like it when Ellies bring in because they can drop fiery greatswords and ice bows, which anyone can pick up to do extra damage. It's pretty sweet.
And you've got one for yourself and then a spare that is just out there in the world for whoever wants it.
So here's another phase.
So you can see that those DPS phases, when Tequatl's done, go really, really fast. Like, you can make up for a really bad initial phase if you're just nailing those burn phases, as we clearly are. We're super rad.
Yeah, I've actually gone into a couple of pickup group attempts into Tequatl, and what it looks like it's going badly, and he's been very kind of minorly damaged, but then all of a sudden word gets out that the Tequatl is live, and then a whole bunch of guilds will come in, and you can actually make up a lot of time if they're well coordinated and get
super
those burn
messy start.
phases.
Yeah. All right, so we're in abominations now.
Yeah, so these abominations, as it says under their bar, will actually explode on death, which means you really don't want them at the battery.
Yeah, you got to use knockback effects, right?
You see people have that one totally locked down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to keep them away, keep them far away.
As you have on your 5 skill here with your rifle, you've got a nice knockback that can push away those guys.
It's a beautiful skill, and you see just people pushing mobs left and right around this map. It's pretty cute.
Keep them away from the battery.
And you see we've done a really good job on all the batteries. They're super high defense. It can get a little scary because, of course, if your battery event fails and one of them loses health, Tequatl's actually going to send out a tidal wave that knocks out everybody in the map. and that is really hard to recover from.
That's messy.
I have experienced that once or twice.
It's cool looking though.
It looks amazing.
It looks cool.
And if you have really good timing, you can actually be on a jump pad and just miss it.
That's right. Yeah.
What? But you'll
That's
be the only
amazing.
person alive on that part of the map.
That's
I
right.
have not experienced that. I sort of want to.
I haven't done it myself, but I really...
You would have a lot of resin to do after that.
Yeah, that's
a big
the
job.
whole rest of your night is resin.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So we're on our way back again. Another burn phase.
The final burn
This is
phase,
our
I
last burn
Final one.
phase.
See that, Jake Q pretty much has this on lockdown.
Yeah. All right, they're gonna take out Tequatl and see him get knocked down.
Embers.
Pulled out my fire elemental powder.
Check you out.
Especially when this first went live, it was really popular to get a bunch of consumables from other areas of the game and pull them out for extra damage. You can see it's not super necessary here. Like, pretty
At
much
this
weren't in
point,
danger
it's
of
just
failing.
fun.
Yeah.
But
This health bar is melting.
that's a tradition that I love upholding.
All right, this is my favorite part right here.
The part when you get loot.
You get all the loot ever.
And you've got just
All right, huge chest. Running for the chest.
running for the chest, and jumping
Everybody
around.
gets loot from the chest.
Everybody's
And let's
happy.
Let's watch everything that Liz gets.
What do you get,
All right,
Liz?
you loot
Anything
at the
good?
chest.
I didn't open
Look at the
everything
right of
before.
her.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the right-hand side of her screen. All right, this is just what she looted from the chest, and now she gets this.
The bouncy chests are where the
and
good
she gets
stuff's
that.
at.
It's actually giving you a bunch of like mini chests that I don't think I opened on stream. Mostly because I'm superstitious and I was sure if I recorded it, it wouldn't drop
Not the
anything
good stuff. All right, so you got all of those.
Or vice versa, you get a precursor right there,
It
right?
would have been beautiful if I had had that
man.
moment for posterity. But yeah, so we're done. That's the fight.
Good job.
Tequatl, tea kettle, tequila. He has many names.
Taquito.
Taquito.
Taquito is my personal
That
favorite.
goes, that goes
one,
really
yeah.
well with nachos
It's true.
and Doritos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we go with tequila?
we can do
As long
that.
as we're at it, I'm sensing a theme, and I'm happy about this.
Those are both good things. And he's actually not our only really cool world boss. We have a couple
There's
others
so many.
spread out throughout the game, especially the Evolved Jungle Worm, super
The
cool
Evolved
fight.
Jungle Worm. The Shatterer is one of my favorite. You
Beautiful.
can see the Shatterer on some of our looping videos here on the
rad
show floor.
commercial.
Yep, pretty awesome.
So if you want to see cool stuff like this, I don't think you can necessarily take on Tequatl day one, but we have a free trial running right now, so you can hop in game and start gearing up for that sort of fight. Or
Game is 50% off until October 5th if you have to have it for your very own, and I personally feel like you do have to have it for your very own. What about you guys?
Yes,
Tend to agree.
absolutely. No better value in the space.
Buy once, play forever. We don't have a sub fee. The Living World content that we release on a pretty regular basis is all free, so that's yours too.
Yeah.
great. And make sure you tune in tomorrow. Josh and one of our shoutcasters are going to be showing a cool exhibition match in PvP, so tune in for that. And thank you all very much.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys.